Have you ever felt it? That strange electric stillness in the air just before a storm breaks. A quiet so profound it feels like the world is holding its breath. Our ancestors knew this quiet. They felt it not just before a storm, but before the end of everything. They saw the omens, heard the whispers of prophecy, and they did something remarkable. They wrote it all down. They left us maps, not of land or sea, but of time itself, blueprints for the final day. And what is terrifying, what is truly unsettling, is that no matter the culture, the continent, or the century, the blueprints are all eerily the same. As if humanity has been having the same nightmare since the dawn of consciousness. We are here to decipher that nightmare, to unroll the 4 great celestial blueprints for the end of the world. Blueprint number 1, the final battle. Imagine you are standing on a plain that stretches for 100 miles in every direction. The sky above you is not blue, but the bruised purple of a fresh wound. This is Ragnarok. This is the twilight of the gods. You are not a spectator here. The gods have called every soul to their banner. The air, thick with the scent of ozone and blood, shimmers with a cold that has nothing to do with winter. This is the Fimbulwinter, the 3-year blizzard that was the first trumpet blast of the end. This apocalypse is not an accident. It is an appointment, a final cataclysmic clash between the forces of order and the howling chaos they have kept chained for millennia. You can see them now, on the horizon. The great wolf Fenrir, his lower jaw scraping the earth, his upper jaw tearing at the clouds, his eyes 2 burning coals of hatred for Odin, the god who bound him. You hear the slithering of a continent as the world serpent, Jörmungandr, rises from the sea, poisoning the very air with his venom. This is the end written as a blood feud, a war. Why? Why this blueprint of cosmic violence? Because it speaks to a primal truth we understand in our bones, that some debts can only be paid in battle. The gods were not perfect. They broke oaths. They sired monsters and then betrayed them. And the end of the world is simply the universe calling in that debt. This is not a story about good versus evil. It is a story about consequences. The All-Father Odin will fall to the wolf he helped create. Thor, the mighty champion, will slay the serpent, only to drown in its poison. Cause and effect, playing out on a divine scale. The final battle is the universe reduced to a spear point. It is the belief that history is not a gentle river, but a battlefield, and that its final chapter must be written by the sword. The noise is deafening, but then it stops. The last god has fallen, the last monster is slain, and in the silence, you see the fire giant Surtur raise his flaming sword and set the corpse of the world ablaze. The pact was broken. The war was fought. The board is wiped clean. Blueprint number 2, the Purifying Flood. Now, leave the battlefield. Let the scent of ash and iron fade. I want you to feel something else. Rain, a single drop on your hand, then another, then 1,000. The sound is not the gentle patter of a summer shower. It is a drumming that grows into a roar, a hiss, as if the sky itself has become an ocean, turned upside down. This is the oldest blueprint, the one that whispers to us from the ruins of Sumeria, from the sacred texts of the Hindus, from the legends of the Greeks and the tribes of the Americas, the Great Deluge. This apocalypse is not a war, but a cleansing. It is the end as a divine sorrow. You are standing on the last peak of the last mountain. The world you knew is gone, submerged beneath a grey, churning infinity. The screams have faded. The pleas have been silenced. There is only the sound of water. This is the end, born from a profound sense of disappointment. Look at what humanity has become, the gods whisper. Look at the corruption, the violence, the sacrilege. The world has become stained, and the stain must be washed away. So they send the waters. This is not the rage of a warlord, but the cold, methodical grief of a creator forced to unmake his own creation. Why a flood? Because water gives life, and so it has the unique power to take it away. It is the ultimate symbol of purification. It washes the world not just of people, but of their sins, their mistakes, their pride. It returns the world to its primordial state, a blank, silent ocean, waiting for a new beginning. In this story, one man, one family is always chosen. A Noah, a Deucalion, a Manu. You see his ark? A tiny speck of wood and hope on an endless sea of judgment. He is not a king or a warrior. He is simply righteous. He is the seed of the new world, preserved not because of his strength, but because of his character. This blueprint tells us the world doesn't end because of monsters from without, but because of the monster within us. It is a moral apocalypse. The rain has finally stopped. A profound silence hangs over the dead world. How could they have been so blind? Blueprint number 3, the consuming fire. Forget the water, forget the blood. The third blueprint is quieter, more absolute. There is no battle, there is no ark, there is only a single, undeniable truth. All things that are born must die, even the universe itself. This is the end as a law of nature. The Zoroastrians of ancient Persia saw it coming. They called it the Frashokareti, the final renovation of the universe. Imagine you see a river of molten metal flowing from the mountains, not with rage, but with a serene inevitability. This river will cover the whole earth. For the righteous, it will feel like a warm bath of milk. For the wicked, it will be the ultimate torment, burning away their every impurity, their every sin. This is ekpeirosis, the vision of the Stoic philosophers who gazed at the stars and saw not gods and monsters, but a grand living machine, a cosmic organism that inhales and exhales over vast eons. The end of the world is simply one of these breaths. The universe, having reached its maximum expansion and complexity, begins its contraction. Stars fall back into their cradles. Time itself slows, thickens, and reverses. Everything is drawn back to a single point of unimaginable heat and pressure. A universal fire. This is not a punishment, it is a process. It is the universe tidying up after itself. This blueprint is terrifying because it is impersonal. There is no God to bargain with, no monster to fight. You cannot be righteous enough to survive it. Your character, your choices, they are meaningless in the face of this cosmic necessity. It is the end as a physical principle, as certain as gravity. The fire is not evil. It simply is. It burns away the old to make way for the new. For in this vision, the end is never truly the end. After the fire, after the great inhalation, a new universe will be born from the ashes, a perfect echo of the one that came before. The last star in the sky winks out, and in the perfect, silent darkness, the universe prepares to begin again. Blueprint number 4, the divine judgment. We have seen the end as a war, as a cleansing, and as a cosmic cycle. But the fourth and final blueprint is perhaps the most intimate and the most terrifying, because it is not about the end of the world. It is about the end of you. Imagine you are no longer on earth. You are standing in a great hall that has no walls, under a light that comes from no star. Before you is a set of scales, vast and perfectly balanced. This is the blueprint of divine judgment. From the Egyptian Hall of Mart to the Christian Last Judgment, the story is the same. The world doesn't just end, it is audited. Every soul is recalled, every life is weighed. This is the apocalypse as a courtroom drama. The trumpets sound, the graves open, and all of history is summoned to give its account. On one side of the scale, a single feather, the symbol of truth, of cosmic order. On the other side, your heart, the record of your life. Every kind word, every secret cruelty, every choice you made when you thought no one was watching. This blueprint shifts the entire focus. The drama is not in the crumbling mountains or the boiling seas. The drama is internal. It is the unbearable weight of your own conscience laid bare before eternity. You are not a victim of a cosmic flood or a casualty in a divine war. You are the defendant. The central question of this apocalypse is not, can the world be saved, but were you worthy of the life you were given? Why is this vision so powerful, so enduring? Because it promises something that life so often denies us: ultimate justice. It whispers that in the end, nothing is forgotten. No good deed goes unrewarded, and no evil deed goes unpunished. The universe in its final act is not chaotic, but meticulously, terrifyingly fair. The world doesn't end in a bang or a whimper. It ends with the sound of a gavel. The scale tips, and your eternity is decided. So, 4 blueprints: a battle, a flood, a fire, and a trial. They seem so different, yet they are all telling the same story. They are not about destruction, they are about renewal. They are not prophecies of an ending, but parables of consequence. Each one is a mirror, reflecting our deepest fears and our most profound hopes. We fear chaos, so we imagine a final battle to restore order. We fear our own corruption, so we dream of a flood to wash us clean. We fear meaninglessness, so we envision a final judgment to give our lives ultimate significance. These ancient stories are not maps to the future. They are diagnostics of the human soul. They reveal a fundamental need to believe that our existence is not a cosmic accident, but a grand moral drama that must, in the end, have a fitting conclusion. We have been telling ourselves these stories for thousands of years, and we are telling them still, cloaked in the language of science fiction and disaster movies. Because the fear of the end of the world is really the fear of a world without meaning, and that is one apocalypse we can never truly bring ourselves to imagine.